everyone. So this tutorial is going to be for everyone that has taken Photoshop already, but we are using Photopea for whatever reason. You'll see very quickly that it looks a lot like Photoshop. The interface looks a little bit different. Obviously it is a web-based program, so you don't have to download anything to your computer. And what I really like about it is just how sleek it looks, how closely it looks to Photoshop, which I think is the really cool thing about this. Now, if you are using Photopea for the first time, but you've had Photoshop, I do know that it's going to look super familiar, and this is why this tutorial is not going to be too long, because you are going to find ways to do the things you already knew how to do in Photoshop. Now, I don't know if that made sense, but for right now, what I want you to do is I'm just going to click on New Project. But as you can see, also you can also open up files from your computer. They have templates that are useful, and then down here they just kind of show you different types of files or file types that you can bring into the program. But I'm just going to click on New Project, and that is not what I wanted. All right, one more time. As I click on New Project, right here you would change the name. You still have the width and the height. You have the dots per inch. So right here, you can just kind of leave this stuff, especially if you don't know what you want to work with. You know, if you took DDA1, you'll know that we usually work in pixels or in inches. So I'm just going to change that to inches just so that you can kind of get a good comparable number there. Background white. And then as you can see here, they've also got different templates that you could work with. So if you want to make like a YouTube cover or like a YouTube banner, that's what that would be like. YouTube profile picture, that's the 800 by 800 pixel document. So these are just like different social ones, different print ones, so on and so forth. So I'm just going to make a 8.5 by 11 document just because it is a normal size sheet of paper, and 8.5 and then 11 inches. Right there. All right, and then this can actually switch them too. So I'm just going to leave it width 8.5, height 11. And over here on the right hand side, as you can see, it kind of shows you how big that would be based off of the size that you put in. So if I switch them up, as you can see, these switch as well. So it just gives you like a good idea or like a good visual of how big your document would look like. So I'm just going to move it back to normal, press create. And now as you can see here, it looks a lot the same. You still have the tab here. I just called it New Project. And as you can see, also it is .psd, which means that it is a Photoshop file, which these are very familiar for those of you that have had DDA1. You can actually bring in Photoshop files. So you can actually like work on something at school, save it as a Photoshop file, and then take it home and work on it in Photopea, and it would pretty much do the same exact stuff. Now, again, y'all, it is very close, but it is not the exact same as Photoshop. On the left-hand side, a lot of the tools are the same. You still have your move tool, you still have your marquee tools, you still have your lasso tool, magnetic lasso. You'll have object selection, which this is actually new for Photoshop. It's like a 2020 version of Photoshop has object selection now, but you still have your quick selection and your magic wand there, and just a whole bunch of other tools here that you may be familiar with. On the right hand side, you will see your layers as well, and this should look super familiar to you all as well. So you know, you just lock layers, you unlock them, whatever it may be. You can add a new layer by clicking on the little sticky note image, double click on it and rename it, you know, a different name. You also still have like this window, your layer styles, whenever you double click on the layer, like on the outside. Again, it is very close to Photoshop. If you want to open up a new document, go to File, Open, and then you'll just find your stuff within your computer. But again, I just want you all to see it is very, very close to what we would use in the classroom, and that is why I'm very comfortable using this program. I am sure as the semester goes on, you'll get just as comfortable using it as well. But just be aware, we will be using this program quite a bit this semester.